So hey guys, welcome back to class, and I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope they help you kind of remember what we did last week and help you to also make sure that you understand what's going on. They are posted on my website and also on Google Classrooms if you feel like you need to watch them again, or maybe you're at home doing homework and need to. So we are going to review Pythagorean Theorem today, and then you're going to have an assignment over it to work on. So if you remember Pythagorean Theorem, the formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are going to be the legs of a right triangle, and c is always going to be the hypotenuse. Just remember that C is always the longest side, and it's also always directly across from the right angle. So let's do a couple of practice problems, just to kind of refresh our memory on how to use Pythagorean Theorem. So the first one, we're going to have a triangle that has sides of 14 and 12, and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to put this in the formula. So we've got 14 squared plus 12 squared is going to equal c squared. And so then we're going to work that out and say that 196 plus 144 is going to equal c squared. Put those two together and we end up with 340 equals c squared. And if you remember, we can't have c squared. We need c by itself. So to undo a square root, we square root both sides. And then you have a wonderful calculator now that will simplify square roots for you now that we're past that test. And we can say that c is equal to 2 root 85. So that's one example. You might also have another example that we're going to look at where we know the hypotenuse, but we don't know the other two sides, or we don't know one of the other two sides. So let's say we don't know A, but we do know this side is 11, and we do know that this side is 20. So using a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we're going to put in the 11 for B, and the 20 in for this hypotenuse. And then from there we can work these out. So we've got a squared plus 121 equals 400. And now we have an equation we have to solve. So there's my algebra wall. I'm going to subtract 121 from both sides. And we end up with a squared equals 279. Again, we can't have a squared, we need a by itself. So to be able to do that, we're going to have to square root both sides, and then we can put that in our calculator and find out that that is 3 root 31. So you're going to get a worksheet. Here in a little bit, the substitute has them. And it's going to look like, if I can get my them to work, maybe. It's going to look like this, and on one side you're going to have some triangle, some A's, B's, and C's for triangles, and on the back you're going to have this really cool design with numbers on it, and it's a color by number. So we're going to figure out, is a triangle with sides of A equals 6, B equals 8, and C equals 10, is that triangle going to be a right triangle? Well, it's kind of like working Pythagorean Theorem backwards. So let's talk about how to do one of those. So if we have, hang on, Moby shut off. Just a second. Okay, there we go. So if we have a triangle with, say, A equals 10, and B equals 7, and C equals 15. And we're going to put this into a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to find out if it works or not. So if we have a squared, that would be 10 squared plus 7 squared should equal 15 squared if it's a right triangle. So this is 100 plus 49 should equal 225. But guess what? There's no way that 149 will ever equal, ooh, that didn't work. Won't ever equal 225. So therefore, we know it's not a right triangle. So on our worksheet, since you know it's not a right triangle, then we would say, you know, if yes, it is a right triangle, you'd color it red. If no, you'd color it yellow. So the sub has these. They're going to be due tomorrow, so you have the remainder of the hour to work on those. Don't forget to show your work, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.